Have you ever noticed how something tiny, something totally harmless, can suddenly explode into a massive, chaotic mess? Well, that is exactly what happens in this episode of The Simpsons. Everything begins with Homer and Bart doing what they always do, arguing over something silly and turning the house upside down. It is normal life in Springfield. Nothing unusual at all, except for one detail. This time, someone is recording it, and when that video hits the internet, everything changes. The clip shows Homer and Bart fighting in the most exaggerated, ridiculous way possible. Homer stumbling, Bart's jumping on him, furniture breaking in the background. To the viewers online, it looks like the funniest family meltdown of all time. Within hours, the video goes viral. People begin sharing it over and over, reacting, laughing, creating memes and remixes. Springfield and the whole world suddenly become obsessed with this accidental chaos. Bart feels it first. He sees the view count skyrocketing, and something lights up inside him. For the first time in a long time, he is the center of attention, and he loves it. Homer watches the video and is torn between embarrassment and pride. Because of course, it is not every day your stupidity turns you into a celebrity. And then they both realize something powerful. The internet likes them. And more importantly, the internet wants more. There is a moment where Bart looks at Homer with excitement, and Homer looks back with the same idea in mind. They do not need to say anything. They understand perfectly. They are about to turn that viral fight into a brand new career. So they create a channel and start filming everything they try to recreate. The chaos of the first viral videos, staging arguments, fake falls, exaggerated reactions. They want to force the magic of the original clip, but something is missing. The spark is gone. It feels scripted. It feels empty. It feels like two people chasing something they already lost. But they do not stop. In fact, they doubled down. Homer throws himself into stunts, hurting himself without noticing. Bart invents dangerous challenges, escalating everything to keep the views coming. Their house turns into a battleground. Each video gets bigger, louder, more destructive. Springfield begins watching them like a reality show, cheering for more madness. And the sad thing is, the more views they get, the less they notice how much they are losing themselves in the process. There is an emotional undertone in the episode, a quiet feeling that something is wrong. Behind the laughs, you see two characters trying desperately to fill a void with attention, with likes, with comments, with numbers, and you can tell it is never going to be enough. Not for Bart, not for Homer. They are chasing approval. They are chasing validation. They are chasing that first hit of viral success, like an addiction. Meanwhile, on the other side of the house, something much darker is happening. Lisa is dealing with a terrifying new detention system at school. Her principal introduces an industrial-style punishment program, turning detention into forced labor. Kids are sorted, assigned tasks, watched over like workers on a factory floor. It is mechanical, cold, and inhumane. And the saddest part is that Homer and Bart are so lost in their influencer fantasy that they do not even notice their own daughter is suffering through something deeply unfair and disturbing. But this part, the darker side of the story, is something we are going to uncover in the next block. While Homer and Bart are completely consumed by their sudden internet fame, another story begins unfolding in Springfield, a story darker, colder, and far more disturbing than any online trend at Springfield. Elementary, a new detention system is introduced, and Lisa is the first to sense that something is deeply wrong. The school transforms detention into an industrial-style punishment. Children are lined up, placed behind machines, forced to complete repetitive tasks, and monitored like factory workers instead of students. The atmosphere feels heavy, gray, mechanical. There is no laughter, no childhood, no freedom. Lisa immediately understands that this is not discipline, it is exploitation, and she becomes determined to expose the truth. But while Lisa begins her silent battle, Homer and Bart are too distracted by their influencer lifestyle to notice anything. Their channel keeps growing, and with every new view and every new subscriber, they feel more pressure to go bigger, louder, and more extreme. Bart starts watching viral creators, studying trends and analyzing comments. He becomes obsessed with what the audience wants next. Homer, on the other hand, is driven by something simpler. He just wants to feel loved. Every time the likes and views rise, he feels important and alive. It becomes a cycle, a loop that takes over their entire routine. To keep the audience entertained, they start to escalate the chaos. What began as silly arguments soon becomes dangerous. Stunts they stage exaggerated. Fights they throw themselves into walls. They set up pranks involving traps and even small explosions. Homer injures himself repeatedly, but keeps going because the audience cheers for more. Bart begins to feel like the only thing that matters is creating content that keeps the numbers climbing. This is where the emotional weight of the episode gets stronger. You start to see the distance growing inside the family. Marge tries to warn them that they are going too far, but Homer dismisses her. Bart ignores her, and the two keep chasing viral success like it is oxygen. Meanwhile, the online audience has no idea they are pushing a father and son toward exhaustion. While all this happens, Lisa continues investigating the detention system. She documents the forced labor, the strict rules, the way children are treated more like components of a machine than students. The principal tries to hide the truth and sugarcoat the program with excuses about discipline and character building. But Lisa knows better. She gathers other students, tries to build resistance, and begins planning how to expose everything to the adults. The contrast between the two stories is powerful. On one side, Homer and Bart are living a fake dream, built from views, likes, and digital approval. On the other side, Lisa is facing a harsh reality that her own family is too distracted to see. There is a moment that illustrates this perfectly. Bart runs home excited to show Homer a new stunt idea, and Lisa tries to tell them that something horrible is happening at school, but Homer brushes her off. Bart barely hears her, and they rush out to film again. It shows how the hunger for online fame can blind even the people you love most. Slowly you begin to see that something is breaking inside them. Homer and Bart are not truly enjoying content creation anymore. They are trapped by it. Their smiles look forced. Their excitement feels fake. The fun is gone, but they pretend everything is great because the internet expects them to. They start caring more about strangers online than about their own sister who is struggling alone. Everything is building toward a collapse, a moment where all these decisions will hit them at once. And that moment is coming in the next block. As the episode moves forward, the pressure on Homer and Bart grows heavier, and the cracks inside their new fame-filled life finally begin to show. What once felt exciting and chaotic in a fun way now feels exhausting and desperate. They are chasing attention, but the joy is gone, and neither of them can admit it, not even to themselves. Their audience demands more danger, more spectacle, more pain, and Homer pushes himself harder with every video. Bart becomes more controlling, more stressed, and more aware that their views drop whenever their content is not extreme enough. They both pretend they are having fun, but you can see in their faces that the excitement has faded. One day, Bart wakes up before Homer and begins preparing a new stunt. He has built a ridiculous machine filled with springs, paddles, and objects that will hit Homer from every angle. He is convinced this will bring their views back up. Homer stumbles into the room half asleep, and even though he clearly does not want to do it, he agrees because he does not want to disappoint Bart or their audience. The stunt ends badly. Homer gets hurt again, but instead of stopping, Bart starts thinking about the next idea, the next angle, the next viral moment. He barely checks if Homer is okay. Homer smiles, even though he is in pain, because he believes this is what he must do to stay loved by the internet. Lisa finally feels relieved. The house becomes quieter, calmer, and the family returns to something that actually resembles normal life. Homer helps Marge clean the living room. Lisa rests on the couch. Bart watches the sunset from the window, a soft smile on his face for the first time in the episode. He looks peaceful, not famous, not viral, just Bart. The episode ends with a small comedic scene. Homer walking into the kitchen, tripping on nothing and falling loudly. Marge asks if he is hurt, and Homer says no, but adds, if anyone recorded that, please delete it before it ends up on the internet. Again, the family laughs, and the camera fades out, bringing closure to their chaotic journey. All right, if you made it all the way here, congratulations, you survived one of the craziest episodes about internet fame the Simpsons have ever produced. And let's be honest, if you ever thought being a content creator was easy, this episode probably cured that idea fast. Now, before you leave, I have to tell you something important. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It doesn't hurt as much as Homer falling down a staircase, I promise. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the recap. Leave a comment telling me what moment shocked you the most. And of course, tell me this. Would you watch a full reality show of Homer and Bart? Or would you run away from your phone like Ralph running from responsibility? Thanks for watching, and remember, if your videos start going viral out of nowhere, maybe it's time to check if you're turning into Homer Simpson. See you in the next episode. Breakdown.